Hey guys, welcome to my mint box. Is there any way we can turn down the fog machine? Let's put down the, give me a... Hey, thanks for buying my mint box. As you can see from the performances, I have a really good time doing this. So before we get into the nitty-gritty, I want to show you guys how to handle the actual unit, how to set it up, and kind of what not to do, because you can ruin the gimmick if you mistreat it. So before anything, let's get into that. Okay, so you have your gimmick. Let me show you how to set this up. First, you need to take a card, and make sure not to play with the gimmick first. Let me show you what to do before you handle this. If you handle this right now, you could ruin the gimmick. You do not want to do that. I'm going to show you why. Take a card, fold the card in half, but I fold it off center. See? Card's folded in half again, just like that. I want off center, that way it takes up the same amount of space as the gimmick does. The card goes in, remember what that card is, and you're good to go. Now, what you want to do with the actual gimmick to engage. Now, hopefully, you followed instructions, you read the quick start first, and you saw how to actually put the gimmick into position. This is how you do it, and this is what you don't do. So here's the gimmick. I'm going to turn it upside down so that the gimmick falls out. Push down and lock the gimmick underneath, just like that. And you're good to go. It's going underneath that lip. So it's here. Now, what you want to do is you want to move the gimmick sideways. You do not want to push down. You want the gimmick to go sideways. All right? So to engage the gimmick, this is going to go sideways, and you're going to let go. And all I'm trying to do is just remove it from that lip. That's it. I'm not pushing down. If you push down, you're going to crease. I'm just removing from the lip, sideways. See? Like that. If you push down, this is what's going to happen. Remember, do not do this. Don't push down. You push down, you get this big crease right in the middle of the mylar. See? Now it's ruined. Your gimmick's ruined. It won't fall out of the box. You have to push it. It's dead. All right, so do not do that. Do not push straight down. Don't push straight down. You push straight down, you get a crease. Don't do that. Okay, let's get into the basic way to remove the card from the box or to engage the gimmick. So that way it appears like you're taking it out. This is going to be the standard way to do this. This is what's on the quick guide instructions whenever you first got the gimmick and you read through the quick guide. This is how this is supposed to look. So let's get into that. Okay, here's the basic takeout. Remember, set your gimmick, card and finger palm. So for the basic takeout, the box is going to get opened. Your fingers are now going to keep the box in position. So I'm just putting pressure down on the lid. And my finger, or my thumb, actually, my finger is going to touch the edge of the gimmick here. And my thumb is going to push sideways on the gimmick, removing it from the lip. And now I'm going to try to get a little bit higher as possible here so you guys can see. Right there is where you want to go. I'm going to do down here so you guys can see it, but you want to go right up here. So over, and now the gimmick is unlocked. I'm now going to let the gimmick flip over. As I pull my hand away, the card is in finger palm. My fingertip is going to touch fingertip, and I'm going to start to rotate the hand as my thumb starts to open, and then I remember I'm going to let them open, or I think I'm going to let them. So your internal monologue is, check out the card. Oh, wait, actually, I don't want to touch it. You touch it. That's going to be the internal monologue you're thinking. So in full speed, cards in finger palm, just like that. Okay, this is going to be the main way that I perform the double card to mint box. And the reason it's got 3 beats, you're going to get the card appearing inside the box, you're going to get the vanish of the card, and then you're going to get the signed card appearing back inside the box that was just empty. There's a lot of magic kind of crammed into one little thing here, so which is why this is my favorite. And later on we're going to go into some other stuff, but right now let's go into the main double card to mint box. Okay, let's get into the basic routine. First you're going to need to set it up. So you're going to take a playing card that matches your deck, obviously. Look, I did a color changing card trick too. Take the card, fold it in half. I fold it off center in half again. And you want to fold it off center, that way it fills up the same size as kind of the gimmick whenever the gimmick's engaged. So that's inside. Remember what the card is. This is 3 diamonds for me. And that's going to go in the box. Gimmick's down, that's on top, and you're ready to go. Make sure you have your force card on top of the deck so you can control it after they shuffle or however you want to handle that. But you need your force card. And you're going to force the card that's inside of the box. That's the card that you want to force. If you don't, the trick's not going to work. So you want to force the card. What I used is this kind of ego force, a force from underneath, kind of a combination of a bottom deal here, like that, and kind of like a Herman force. So that you can see it. And what's happening is, and you can check out the Garcia projects, it goes more into depth on this. They're going to touch any card they want, and my finger's just going to push the bottom. I'm just going to slightly buckle and push the bottom card out as I grab both cards, turn both cards over, and peel the force card off with my thumb. All right, just a very, very simple move. Card goes through, you see it. Peel the card, just like that. It also hides the back, which is great. So you can actually have a different colored backed card if you want to also, which is kind of crazy. So, boom. Once the card is forced, the card goes back in the deck. And you can control this card and palm it out if you want to. I don't get crazy. I literally leave it in the deck. Card's gone. Open the box in their hand. And now you want them to take the card out. So I pick the box up and have them take the card out. Now make sure you put the card in the same way that the gimmick goes. Just a nice little consistency there. But I pick the box up and let them take the card out. They're going to remove the card, and as they open up the card, I'm now going to set the gimmick. So I'm going to turn the gimmick over so that it falls out. And my thumb. This is all happening while they're looking at their card and as they're laughing. And I'm just going to push the gimmick into place, lock it in place, and then I'm just going to close the box. So now I'm set. All right, that's set again. So now you're ready for the double card to box. And I'll do that one more time so you guys can see it. Cards inside the box. Their card goes inside. Card vanishes. Open it up. Let them remove it. As they're doing that, this gets turned over. I engage the gimmick, close the box, and now I'm ready to place that back in their hand. All right? Once that's back in their hand, they're going to be freaking out over this. What? How did that happen? And don't forget, this is actually a very, very strong piece of magic. As magicians, sometimes we forget that just a force reveal is a super strong piece of magic. And as you see from the demo, just this part alone already gets an amazing reaction. All right, so don't undersell this. So the first card goes to the box. Now you're going to get the idea. I want you to sign it. I'm going to do this. I'm going to break the second rule of magic. I'm going to do the trick twice. You know what's going to happen. So sign your name across the card. Now they sign their name across the card. And as you take this back, you're going to place the card into the perpendicular vanish position. All right, and this is going to be kind of my version of a rub-a-dub vanish. It's a move that I've had a lot of fun with. You can look up on the perpendicular projects. A lot more information on this, goes into a lot more depth and some really cool routines. But this is going to go straight into this position, just like that. And what that is if I were to put a card on top of the deck, and I were to get a break, and my thumb were to just pull that card up, now this card is in perpendicular position right there. And I tilt forward. Now you get a nice, beautiful view of this card, and that's the only thing that's in frame. So I just put the folded card into that position as I ask for the pin. I take the pin, Pin goes back in the pocket. And now I'm going to do the perpendicular vanish. So I'm just going to cover up the card. These two, between my first finger and my pinky, I'm going to cover this up. And as I close my fingers, the thumb is just going to pull the card back down on top of the deck as the hand comes away. So the card's in position. Right hand goes to the card. Pull that down. This hand moves away. One more time. Just like that. So move. Remember, A to B, B to C. Remember that. That's what you want. A to B, B to C. You don't want to take the hand, bring the hand to this, and then bring the hand away. You want the empty hand to go to the card, and then pull the deck away. Okay? Stay in this position. Show the card vanish, which is a very, very strong moment. If you do the move correctly, you get a nice visual retention of the card. It's almost kind of like a retention vanish with the coin. It looks almost like the card is in the hand as the deck is pulled away. You're going to show the hand empty. The card's gone. There. Let them react. Make sure not to show the top of the deck because the folded card is on top. So if they see the top of the deck, then your illusion's ruined. So I drop the hand. You'll notice in the performances I drop the hand goes south. And then there. And I also always have kind of a slight sway with the hand that kind of goes dead. So just a little bit of action just kind of adds like a little relaxed. Don't overdo it. You know, you don't want to be standing there like you got numb arms. So take the card. It goes in. Boom. Card vanishes. Now, the hand's going to come up. And now you're in perfect position to do the easiest Mercury card fold you can do because the card is already pre-folded for you. So if you want to do a Mercury card fold here in the action of saying a joke, of saying a statement, asking a question, showing the deck, you can now put your hand in position and literally do the easiest Mercury card fold in the world. It's already pre-folded. I've got an Omni deck actually, and we'll go over so you can see cards underneath. Just like that. That's going to be a Mercury card fold. And there's a lot of, you guys can look up a lot of information. There's a lot of information that you can get these from different publications that you can read, different DVDs that have been sold that teach the Mercury card fold in really good depth. So I'll just give you the basics here. Thumb goes down, hand in front, first finger's at the top. I'm going to push back. It's going to bend the card, continue the push so it goes against the thumb, and then curl up underneath the deck like so. Now you can push to score or to crease the card a lot more. Push like that, and now you're good. Okay? So let's use the cards again. Cards on top. Show the deck. Mercury card fold. And now you're in position. So another way to do the Mercury card fold is in the action of closing the spread, which is really, really great because now you don't have to get two different beats. You can show the deck and show that their card is now vanished. And as you end in this position, notice the Mercury folded card is facing away from my finger there. And all I'm going to do is as I close, I'm just going to close and push everything shut in one motion. And now it's done. So now you don't have to do the kind of come back and say something and do a Mercury card fold. You can do everything as you're showing. It's going to take a little bit of practice, but you'll get it. So it's here. Show the card is vanished. Now you're in position and ready. From here, what you're going to do is you're going to take the deck, and I'm going to place the deck in my pocket. And as I do that, I finger palm the card. The hand rotates as I rest the hand on my leg as the deck goes into my back pocket. All right, so both hands are going to come down, and I'm mirroring the image. Okay, I'm mirroring my hands. I don't want this hand to stay here because now this hand's going to be awkward. All right, this is going to be in position. Why would I keep my hand here like this? So I'm going to balance the view. I'm going to balance the frame here, come down, and also this is going to push against the leg. And what that's going to do is that's going to give you, it's a way for you to show that your hand is empty without you going, check it out, my hand's empty. The hand just resting is a very natural position, and it's going to just basically happen in their mind, you know, that the hand, it's not going to raise any flags, all right? It's going to be very natural. So the Mercury card fold, square up everything, hand goes down, deck goes in the pocket. Now you're going to come forward in a natural position, and I point to the box. right? I'm pointing to the box. Once again, it's a way to kind of show the hands. It's a very natural way of nothing being in the hand. So I point to the box and I say, before I started, I told you how this was going to end, and then I told you how it was going to end again. I told you I was going to break the rule twice. You know where it's at. And all I'm doing is the card's just in finger palm. And literally, I'm just closing my hand, and I'm using the top of my thumb to cover the top of the card as I point. So you get this really nice, clean. That way you don't get anything poking out from the tops. You get this kind of thing as I point to the box. The box is going to be open. You can either open it, you can have them open it. If you have them open it, you're going to have some audience management, all right? You got to make sure that they don't shake this around. As soon as they open it, you want to either settle them down by pushing on their wrist, pushing on their fingertips. You just want to calm them is what you want to do, because they're going to be excited. They know what's happening. They anticipate. The anticipation's building up in them, so they want to see it, right? They want that satisfaction. And you'll see it in their faces too. You'll see them come to the conclusion before anything even happens. You see them it's almost just like oh my gosh, if this is it, you know? I like to just kind of open the box, boink, pop it open. And now you're going to do the basic takeout of the card. Thumb's going to come down. Remember that you're pushing over, you're not pushing down. You don't want to bend the Mylar. You bend the Mylar, you get the crease. Come down, push the card over, releasing the gimmick. And now as I bring my fingers forward, the gimmick's going to flip over. Fingertips are going to touch, first finger to first finger. Then the hand rotates. As I begin to open the gimmick, I stop and say, no, you do it. All right, I want to give reason like I'm going to do it, and then it's kind of almost like a second thought. Actually, here you open it up. All right, or you might find yourself in the position also where you do need to open it up, which is perfectly fine. I'm not saying that you have to do it that same way every single time. You want to be adaptable. You know what I mean? You need to change with the moment. Change, be liquid. All right, move like water, like a Bruce Lee say. That was racist. So it's there. Take the gimmick out. Open it up. Engage the gimmick. Come over. Fingertips touch. Turn. You can actually open it. This is going to end up in their hand. So this is in their hand. I want to get this out of their hand also. Don't be scared. You'll notice that they don't sit there and think about the box, because the box has nothing to do with this. The box is just a box. You have to remember that. This is just, to you, it's a gimmick. But to them, it's just an Altoid box. So do not bring heat to this. If it has to stay in their hand for a little while you're, kind of milking the reaction, having fun with your audience, don't forget to have fun, having fun with your audience, then let it sit there for a second. Then reach over, pick it up like it's don't make a big deal about it. Just reach over, pick it up, close it, put it in your pocket. It's also a good moment if you're doing walk around magic to reset the gimmick, right? So if you want to reset the gimmick right then, if you're doing any other type of routine, you can just take it back for them, reset the gimmick real fast, put it back in your pocket, and you're good for the next table. But for this, just take it out of their hand. I close the gimmick, put the gimmick in the pocket, and there's your routine. Let's get into some different variations on how to remove the card from the box. Sometimes you're going to find yourself in situations where you're going to have maybe too many people on the right, too many people on the left, maybe people behind you. So you might not be able to do certain moves that you get used to. So it's good to have a variety of different ways, different techniques. Sometimes, in all your magic, sometimes you're not going to want to do a top changing situation, so you might want a different move for there. Same thing with this. Sometimes you might not want to do the Mercury fold and then pull the card out of the box that way. Sometimes you want the card to come from the right hand. What if you have one person to the right of you and you get this beautiful angle of having the card in the hand where you can just take the card out and turn your hand over without anything muddying it? So we're going to show you things like that with these alternate variation handlings. Okay, so here's your alternate handlings. As you saw in the performances, I use a different takeout for the situation that I'm in some of the times. So this is what that move looks like. I'm actually going to take the box, and I'll show you what it looks like from behind first. This is engaged, cards in finger palm. The box is going to get opened. They see the card. The hand's going to come over, and it's going to look like I dumped the card out of the box into the hand. All right? What that move is cards in finger palm. You're going to open up the box, let them see the card. I grab the lid of the box, so you're in this position. The card with the finger palm is going to come over, and now I'm going to touch the edge of the box to my finger, and my thumb's going to naturally come to the card. Okay, just like this. What that does is that hides the card underneath the box for a lot of your angles. If you watch the performance, you'll see I had people almost 360 at certain points. So this just comes up to here. But look at your angles. You have great angles now. My thumb is now going to pull that card. Make sure this card stays in finger palm. See, this one likes to jump because it's like a little frog. But make sure that kid stays in finger palm. Come up. My thumb now, the left hand's thumb, the one that holds the card, is what's going to do the gimmick this time, not my right hand. So as I hold, I'm going to come up. My thumb's going to pull that over. And as I let this flip over, this is going to turn, dumping the card out and placing this in the hand. Okay, so we'll do it at half speed first. Open. Like that. And now at full speed, show the card. Card's inside the box. Take the card. Okay, so that's the basic, one of the basic alternate handlings of turning the card over. Another handling that you can do, which is really, really great, is from the front. So the gimmick is opened. Now you're going to tell them, can you please cup your hands? And as I do that, I'm covering the finger palmed card. Can you cup your hands? Rotate down. I grab the gimmick, this time palm down, like this. So I'm in this position. I'm going to pretend to try to dump it in their hand, and the gimmick won't come out. I go 1, 2, I notice that it's not coming out. Now I'm going to bring my hand forward, and as I bring my hand forward, I'm going to hit the edge of the gimmick down here, this edge down here. I'm going to hit that to my hand as the card pops into view. So what's going to happen is the gimmick is going to flip over when I tap that section right there. See? So the gimmick flips over as the other card comes into view. Card in finger palm. Can you please cup your hands? 1, 2, 3. Show the card. Let it fall in the hand and close the gimmick. One more time for the dump out from the front. Cup the hands. Open up the gimmick. 1, 2. Hit the edge. Dump the card out. Close the gimmick. Another variation to take the card out is going to be if the card's in finger palm. You can now pick up the box, place the card underneath the box, and re-grip. Now you get a very, very open handling, see? Just hiding the card underneath the gimmick, or underneath the box. Show everything. And now you're going to place everything into the hand. My right finger is going to reach under the box as my thumb pulls the gimmick forward again. Remember, never to push down. And I'm going to rotate the card from underneath up above the box as I pull the gimmick sideways. So the card comes out, gimmick comes out. That's going to turn as I show this. Now, obviously, that's at half speed. When you do it in full speed, you get a really nice illusion of the card coming out of the box and you handing them the card. Another way to do this is if you're doing this just one-on-one, where you have a really good angle of just one spectator. What you can do here is you can actually get a really nice visual. We're using OmniDeck so you can see. By moving the Mercury folded card under the deck, moving it into the fingertips of the right hand. Now, you can engage the gimmick with the thumb as you just turn your hand over and hand them the card. It's a very, very clean way to do the switch. It seems like nothing tricky is happening. Everything's in view. One more time. Card's underneath. Card gets Mercury folded. Now you have the card in finger palm. Square up the deck. Push the card into fingertips. Come over, engage the gimmick as you hand them the card. Another handling you can do is whenever you have people all around you and you're doing a lot of sweeping motions, you want to try to kind of involve everybody. You want to kind of keep your circle open. a good thing to do is to do this sweeping kind of a switch. So the box is going to be open. You've done your Mercury card fold under the deck. You want to now start to work your card up to the quadrant, this kind of top upper quadrant of the deck. Your middle finger is now going to reach underneath. With your first finger, you're going to just kind of push the card forward as you do the engage from the first move that you were taught. So reach over, you're going to engage the gimmick, cause it to flip over, and as both hands sweep over, hand's going to come over and start to move, feeding the card in as you ask somebody to hold on to the deck. So at full speed, it's going to look like this. Look, one card's inside the box. Can you hold on to the deck for me? And you've switched the card so that it looks like nothing ever happened. Okay, another one with the sweeping motion. Gimmicks engage. Mercury folded card is underneath the deck, kind of up in the right quadrant. You're going to work your fingertips onto it so that you can push it out. Do the move. Hang on to the deck for me. And now you switch the card under the deck. Here's a way to turn the playing card or the selected sign card into mints for like a single person performance. You get a very visual change using the perpendicular vanish that I taught you earlier. So you get this really, really beautiful change of all the mints exploding and then the signed card appearing in the box. All right, here's how to turn the card into mints. Now you're going to do the exact same vanish that I taught you earlier, the perpendicular vanish. But instead of reaching over, you're going to have mints in your hand. I just reach in my back pocket and grab them. And as I come up to flick the card, I'm going to do the move. Remember, you don't want people on this side of the angle for you. This is why I normally just do this for a few people. You want the card to come up. You want to do the flick, and as you do the flick, you're just going to let the mints fall out of your hand onto the table. When you do this, for this angle, you get a really nice visual of the card turning into the mints. Mints in your hand. You're going to come up, come down, and the card is going to look like it turns into a bunch of mints. So in the demo, you saw me flick the tin and it turned the card turned into mints, very, very visually, which I would never do out in real life. That's not something that I actually perform. But for you guys that like to do kind of Instagram type magic or social media magic, where you're not using spectators, you're doing magic just for the camera, this is a really beautiful shot of this really visual change. And there's also a way to do it where you can just drop the card on the table and the card vanishes. So for your social media, if you want to do maybe like a card through table or something like that. So I'll just show you a couple of these really kind of fancy moves that I wouldn't do out on the streets and do live. The reason for that, actually, let me tell you that, is that with this right now, the gimmick itself is actually, it's just a holder. That's all it is. There's no gimmick to them. In their mind, there's no gimmick. It's just a holder for the actual card. When you do the actual effect with this and the card vanishes, now this has become the trick. So now this is what they want to examine, and that's not what you want. You don't want them. You want this to be an innocent object. That's it. That's why it's already natural. It's already everybody likes to say organic and natural objects. Well, that's what it is. It's people see this all the time. So you don't want to turn this into the gimmick by doing that. But for Instagram, for Facebook, for things like that, these are great. Okay, here's a nice little Instagram shot for you guys, or a social media shot for you guys. You're going to take some mints and place them in the box. Just a few. You don't want a bunch right now. I've got 2, 4, 6. I've got 8 mints in there. And you're just going to work them kind of down to the edge with the flap there. Perfect. Now you're going to let the gimmick kind of fall out. Make sure the mints stay in place. And bend and let this go underneath just like that. All right, and you're set. You don't want this to wiggle around too much because the mints might come out and go underneath the gimmick. That might ruin your gimmick. So you're just in this position. As long as this doesn't move, then you're fine. All right, and like I said, this is just for a social media shot or just something to camera for your friends, things like that. Don't do this in real life performances. So or I wouldn't. Sorry, I'm not telling you what to do. So it's here. You're going to open this up, and literally all you have to do is flick the box. That's it. Make sure that the lid is facing away from you and just flick. So that's it. That's the mint box. I hope you guys enjoyed it. You got to learn the routine. You got to learn some cool new moves. You got to learn the perpendicular vanish. If you have any questions, make sure to hit me up on GarciaMagic.com, or you can go to my social media accounts and just hit me up anything you want on there. Ask me whatever you need. I'll try my best to help you out. So thank you guys very much, and I'll see you soon.